New York. It was a deafening night. The rain was tapping quietly on the window pane. Outside the window, there were only the occasional sounds of cars and the quiet footsteps of lonely passers-by. Jonathan sat in a chair in the small room of his studio apartment, staring at the screen of his laptop. It was late, but he didn't feel tired. He didn't work in an office, but did remote work, so he often stayed up late. Suddenly there was a sound, a knock, quiet, insistent. Someone was knocking on the door. Jonathan wondered who could be coming at this hour. Maybe a downstairs neighbor. Sometimes she asked for help with appliances. He went to the door, but did not hurry to open it. "Who's there?" he asked, straining. The answer was a woman's voice, hoarse, trembling. "Please open. Help me." The voice sounded squeezed, as if the person was struggling to speak through tears. It alerted Jonathan. Something was wrong. He felt goosebumps on his body. "What's wrong? Do you need help?" he asked, but didn't move. The knocking grew louder. The voice became more demanding. "Open up! For God's sake, open the door!" The voice was louder now, more nervous, almost hysterical. Jonathan took a step back, his palms sweating. He didn't know what to do. His intuition was screaming at him, "Don't open it." However, he still moved slowly toward the door. Could the man really need help? And then the voice changed. The woman's voice became rough and hoarse. The knocking on the door became heavy, the blows shaking the canvas as if something huge was behind the door. He pressed himself against the door and peered cautiously through the peephole. He froze. There was a chill in his chest. On the other side of the door stood a creature. It resembled a man, but it was too tall. It had long arms with powerful claws that dug into the door, leaving deep scratches. Its eyes were red in color, and long fangs protruded from its mouth. It lurked, listening, as if it sensed him. The creature suddenly let out a wild, shrill howl. It began to tear at the door with its claws, the blows becoming more fierce. Jonathan recoiled, his heart pounding frantically. He couldn't even scream. He fell to the floor, huddled against the closet. Suddenly, everything went quiet. Dead silence. He closed his eyes, trying to catch his breath. Could it be gone? Suddenly he heard someone on the floor below open the door. Then there was a shrill scream. There were sounds of struggle, clanking, thumping, desperate cries. Then another scream, farther down, on another floor, and another, and another, and another. Jonathan sat on the floor, near the closet, until he passed out. When he woke up, it was already light outside. He was on the floor, still in his apartment. His head was buzzing. Was it a dream? A thought flashed through his mind. He slowly got to his feet, walked to the door. His breath caught. He opened the door slowly. What he saw in the entryway was forever etched in his memory. There was blood everywhere. On the walls, on the floor, on the neighbors' doors. Some doors were open wide. Mutilated bodies were visible in the apartments, their limbs mangled, their faces frozen in an agony of horror. The air was heavy with the iron odor of blood. It was obvious that something terrible had played out here last night. Jonathan stepped forward slowly, careful not to step on the pools of blood. He could feel his heart racing. There was no one there. No survivors, no police, no ambulance. Just him and silence. It seemed to him that someone was watching him, that the creature was still here, that it might come back. He pressed himself against the wall, trying to breathe as quietly as possible. Suddenly, there was a rustle below. Jonathan froze. Someone was coming up the stairs. Heavy footsteps, slow, steady. His head spun with terror. He rushed back into his apartment, slammed the door, and locked the locks. He couldn't stay here any longer. He had to leave, immediately. After that, he couldn't sleep at night. Every time darkness fell, he heard in the back of his mind those knocks on the door, that voice, and that beastly growl. He knew it hadn't gone away. It would come back. Has anyone ever knocked on your door at night?